Tony from CassetteComeback.com, coming to you live from hurricane-ravaged West Coast England, where it's absolutely hooning it down again. But don't worry, I've got some happiness to put into your day. Now, all these cassettes have been sent to me by Tapehead moderator Big Kelv. Thank you very much, Kelvin, for these. Very much appreciated. And incidentally, if you are not a member of tapeheads.net, or even if you don't know about it, go and check it out. It is the biggest encyclopedia of cassette deck, reel-to-reel cassette knowledge out there. I mean, you know, it's the first place I go to when I want to learn about something a bit more. And in fact, one of these cassettes I did have to go and learn a bit more. But anyway, what has he sent me? Well, he must have seen this video here. Bing! And felt bad for me when I looked at them super tapes and I was bemoaning the fact I couldn't find a metal super tape to test. So he sent me one. What an amazing bloke. Here we are, a super tape metal. Yes, thank you very much, sir. And what else has he sent me? He sent me this. Now this is a BASF Chrome Maxima Design Edition number 4. Now there's been a few design editions. I mean, there's the big window one as well, which was the original design edition, but this one's not a common one, and especially Chrome Maxima in this sort of shell. But it is a Chrome Maxima, but doesn't smell like a pure chrome, so this must be later on. This must be when they were using the later Maxell derived cobalt dope formulation, which they used in like the TP2 reference Maxima. So yeah, lovely cassette. I mean, yeah, there's not enough white shelled blanks for my liking. I mean, there's lots of white shelled cassettes when it comes to pre-recorded, but for blanks, not a lot of white shelled ones, and they look really good. Now the third one he sent me, this one made me have a double take. It's this. The TDK ME90 Pro, and I saw ME, and that usually means to me metal evaporate, and I'm like, oh my god, TDK made a metal evaporate tape? What? But they didn't, because if you look, I did a bit of digging at this, you can see that this actually stands for Medical Master, and these were actually all just sold loose in a big box, no J cards, no cases. In fact, this label I stuck on here myself because it looks a bit naked without it, and this comes off like a 1982 TDK, so it fits right. But yeah, an interesting tape all the same. Medical Master. I mean, maybe it's TDK's version of like the Maxell Professionals and all these PMD tapes which I've been looking at. But yeah, it looks a lot more handsome. In fact, it looks really nice. It looks nice and premium. The shell of this doesn't feel quite as sturdy, and it's a bit shinier than the equivalent, you know, SA of the period, which the shell obviously comes from. But it looks a lot more premium than the Maxell stuff, at least the Enderline clear shell stuff. I know there's some earlier Maxell Professionals which actually have opaque shells and look a lot better. But yeah, this looks really nice. So how it performs, I don't know. You know, obviously this was probably made for dictation purposes in hospitals, or maybe it was used to, I don't know, put music on to give to patients to listen on the Walkmans, who knows. But yeah, the Medical Master, like I say, the Chrome Maxima 2 and the Supertape Metal. So let's just have a quick look at the Supertape Metal. Well, at least they're consistent. I mean, if we look at this article here, we can see that, you know, these are like $6 at some points in 1987. I mean, they go down a bit to like $4 when you buy a lot of them. But even so, I mean, this is not a premium looking cassette. This looks very Type 0, just like the others. And I'm sure, as a lot of the comments people have said on the videos, that they didn't buy them because they looked poor as well. But the performance of the other super tapes were very good. So let's see if this one actually keeps up with them, and I'm sure it will from what I've read. And these two, well, this one I have no idea. I imagine it's going to be maybe sub D quality. This one, well, it's a Chrome Maxima 2 with the cobalt dope BASF Maxell derived tape in it, so that should sound great. But all the same, let's fire up a deck, let's get some tunes on them, see how they perform.
The truth.
Okay, Okay, so I'm going to use my CR7 for this because we've got 3 tapes to go through and you don't want to see me manually dialing in and calibrating tapes all the time, so this does it fast and it does it well. And yeah, so first one, let's have a look at this TDK ME Pro. Now I'm expecting D grade tape in this. I'm going to turn the power down a bit. I can have this maybe peaking at around +3. Let's see how it handles it without Dolby. And the reason I don't want to use Dolby, and I've said it before, I'll say it again, is 1, tape hiss doesn't bother me, it reminds me it's tape, and 2, more than anything, it's because, you know, a deck like this has got a good Dolby chip in it, and it's got a certain azimuth. You can take it out of this, put it into another deck which maybe doesn't have as good a Dolby chip, or a portable which doesn't really do it well at all, or the azimuth is slightly out, and all of a sudden you don't sound as good anymore. So I'd rather just record it without it, because I don't listen to classical music or quiet music anyway, so the hiss doesn't bother me. So let's try this with a track from the YouTube audio library called Aioli. In fact, let's not do that first, let's calibrate it first, shall we? No. Still hooning it down here. I'm waiting for the roof to get ripped off my house at the moment, to be honest, by the wind. Poof. First thing I'll be grabbing when I go out will be like a big bin bag to put my decks in. Gotta have your priorities right, then I'll come back for the wife and kids, you know. Right, okay, we're calibrated now. Let's try Aioli. Yowza! Considering this is a professional tape, which usually means dictation only, that performs superb to my ears, and without Dolby. Shame that these are really hard to find and probably really expensive, but yeah, wow, well impressed. So let's now try the BASF Chrome Maxima Edition 4, and I've wound this on a bit, and I'm sniffing now. I can smell the chrome, but also I can smell cigarettes, because this is from a used batch, so maybe this might not perform as good as it probably did when it was new and sealed, but we'll see anyway. So let's calibrate this one up. And I'm going to use an old classic on this one. It's the Cassette Comeback Channel theme tune. Which I can't find. Ha ha ha, isn't that funny? There we go, I found it. Right, okay, good. Right, I'm going to turn this one down because it smells like a pure chrome. Let's get it around 0 and listen to Synergy. Okay, that's a bit low. As I feared, yeah, this one has either degraded or it's just that the CR7 hasn't calibrated up properly. It doesn't like the chrome in it, but it doesn't normally have a problem. But I think you could hear there the hi-hats and stuff. This was rolling off at the top at 0 dB. So, you know, this is a thing for another video. Some people swear that there is no degradation of pure chromes. And I'm saying I've had a few which have, and just because it hasn't happened to you doesn't mean it's not happening. But that's for another video. But gorgeous cassette. I might do some transplanting in, but yeah, I think the tape is past its best in this one. Right, I think of the things that aren't gorgeous, it's a Supertape metal. But let's see if the looks aren't everything in this game. Let's see if this is the Hyundai i30 with the V8 turbo engine in it and suspension that's been tuned by Adrian Newey himself underneath that blah exterior. Right, let's calibrate it up. Okay, I'm going to crank this one a bit high. Well, I say high, I'm going to crank it to maybe +5. They say that your hearing gets worse as you get older, but my hearing has got, maybe it's lost the top end, but it's got more focus because I hear distortion a lot more nowadays than I did when I first started recording on tapes. I don't like to record too hot anymore. I'm not bothered about the hit. I'd rather the sound didn't distort, but this is a metal, so let's crank it a bit. I'm going to record this at about +5. That should be good enough to see if it really is a proper good metal. So this one is called Behold the Sun. Yeah, that was actually peaking at 7, which is hotter than I wanted it. But yeah, this is a good Supertape, like all the other Supertapes I tested were, and it's a very decent metal as well. It's just a shame about the looks. Bit like me, really. Awesome, except for the looks. What do we think of these? I think the big surprise to me was this one. Because when you think of a professional cassette that comes in a cardboard box with no J-cards, I don't think any stickers and, you know, no cases, you think rubbish. And this really wasn't. In fact, you know, the Maxell Pro stuff does come with your J-card in a case and all that, because basically it's a rebranded UR, but this is really good. I mean, the tape itself, it looks like D-tape, but then again, 1982 Ds are very good Ds, and they have no business sounding as good as they do. I mean, like I say, I'm guessing this is 82, 83, looking at the shell. You know, these are hard to pin down, so don't look in my store for one because I don't have any. This was disappointing, but I don't think that's because the tape itself is disappointing. I just think, you know, this was used. Calvin did say it was used when he gave it to me. It came from a mixed lot, and I just think that it's down on what it should be. The top end was rolling off far too early, but then again, it could be maybe the CR7 just doesn't like this, and it's too bullish to say, hey, you know what, I can't actually calibrate this. But I'll probably have a play with this later on in my Revox and see if it sounds better. And this one, like I say, this is the plain looking girl that you see in the bar, and you get to know her and find out she's got a wonderful personality. She's got great taste in music, really intelligent, and she's lovely, and that can sort of overcome the fact that she's a bit plain looking. You know, there's more to life than just looks. I mean, that one, for example. So yeah, this keeps up with the performance of the other Supertapes, and the hubs in these, if you can see, they're sort of like sticky outy, sort of almost small reel hubs. Reminds me of Memorex. You know, the early Memorex had sort of hubs like this. So I wonder whether this is early Memorex metal tape. Yeah, possibly. There's a lot of time between Realistic and Memorex, so it could be. But either way, it did sound really good. So that was it. No particular cassette to flog here because I don't sell any of these in my store. Just doing this because I love doing it. So thanks a lot. And this coming Sunday, bing. So if you got nothing better to do from the hours between 12 and 2 UK time on Sunday, do tune in. Other than that, just to say thanks again to Big Cal for sending me these. It's been fun. And if you're in the UK, don't forget it's election day on Thursday, and this is how I'm going to be voting. Yeah, it's an oldie, but it's a goodie, and it's still true. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and until next time, happy taping. Bye bye.